If you've ever walked out of an interview thinking you nailed it, only to get that rejection email, there's a reason. And it's not because you weren't qualified. It's because you probably gave the same polished, rehearsed answers everyone else gives. Here's what recruiters don't tell you. They can smell inauthenticity from a mile away. But what if I told you there's a completely different approach that recruiters actually love? One that makes you memorable, trustworthy, and hireable. Keep watching. Hi there, I'm Faith from Faith Links English, where we build English skills for work and connection. If you're new here, I help non-native speakers, professionals, and individuals communicate confidently in English, especially in high-stakes situations like job interviews. Today, we're breaking down the 5 interview answers recruiters actually love, not the cliches you've been practicing, not the perfect responses from generic career blogs, but the real, authentic answers that make recruiters lean in and think, this is the person we need. So, whether you're preparing for your first interview or you've been getting close but not landing offers, this video is going to change how you approach every question. Let's dive in. Let's start with the most common question you'll ever get. Tell me about yourself. Now, most people panic here because it's so open-ended. They either ramble for 5 minutes about the entire life story or they freeze and give a 2-sentence answer that says nothing. Here's what recruiters actually want. A clear, structured story that shows where you've been, where you are, and why you're sitting in front of them right now. The secret? Use the past, present, future framework, or PPF. Start with your past, your relevant experience, not your childhood, not your hobbies, just the professional background that led you here. For example, I spent the last 3 years working as a marketing coordinator, where I specialize in digital campaigns and content strategy. Then move to your present, what you're doing in your current role and what you've learned. Something like, in my current position, I've been leading social media initiatives that increased engagement by 40%, and I've really developed my skills in data analysis and strategic planning. And then finish with your future, why you want this specific job. That's why I'm excited about this role. I'm looking for an opportunity to take those skills to the next level and contribute to a team that values innovation and creativity, which is exactly what I see here. See how structured that was? Past, present, future. Clear, concise, and directly relevant to the role. That's what recruiters love, not a wandering autobiography. Next up, why do you want to work here? This is where most people completely blow it. They say things like, oh, I love your company culture, or you're so innovative, or the benefits are great. And recruiters, they tune out immediately. Here's the truth. Recruiters want to know that you actually researched the company and that you're genuinely excited about something specific, not just looking for any job. So instead of generic praise, mention something concrete. Maybe it's a recent project the company launched, or maybe it's their mission statement that resonates with your values. Maybe it's a specific aspect of their business model that excites you. For example, I've been following your company's shift towards sustainable packaging, and I was really impressed by the initiative you launched last quarter. As someone passionate about environmental responsibility, I'd love to contribute to that mission. Plus, I saw that your team recently expanded into the European market, and my background in international marketing would be a great fit for that growth. See the difference? You're not just saying great company, you're showing them you've done your homework. You understand their goals and you can connect your skills to their needs. That's the kind of answer that makes recruiters take you seriously. All right, let's tackle the dreaded weakness question. What's your greatest weakness? Now, I know you've heard the advice. Turn a weakness into a strength. Say you're a perfectionist. Say you work too hard. Please don't do that. Recruiters have heard those answers 1,000 times and they see right through them. What they actually want is honesty, self awareness, and proof that you can learn from your mistakes. So here's what you do: talk about a real weakness or past failure, but focus on what you learned and how you've improved. For example, early in my career, I struggled with delegating tasks. I thought I had to do everything myself to ensure it was done right. And honestly, it led to burnout and slower progress on projects. But I realized that wasn't sustainable, so I started actively practicing delegation. I learned to trust my teammates, communicate expectations clearly, and check in without micromanaging. Now I'm much better at collaboration and my projects actually move faster because I'm leveraging the team's strengths. Notice what just happened. You acknowledged a real weakness, you showed self awareness, and you demonstrated growth. That's exactly what recruiters want. They don't want perfection. They want someone who can recognize their areas for improvement and actually do something about it. Now, let's talk about behavioral questions. Those tell me about a time when, questions. Questions that always feel tricky. Maybe they ask you, tell me about a time you faced a challenge at work, or give me an example of when you showed leadership. Here's the key: recruiters aren't just listening to your story, they are assessing how you think, how you solve problems, and whether you can take ownership of outcomes. The best way to structure these answers: the STAR method: situation, task, action, results. Let me break it down with an example. Situation. In my previous role, our team was launching a new product. But 2 weeks before the launch, our lead designer quit unexpectedly. Task: as the project manager, it was my responsibility to ensure the launch stayed on schedule despite losing a key team member. Action: I immediately assessed what work was left, redistributed tasks among the remaining team, and brought in a freelance designer to handle the final visuals. I also held daily check-ins to keep everyone aligned and motivated. Now result: we launched on time and the product exceeded our first month sales targets by 25%. The team felt proud of what we accomplished together under pressure. See how clear and structured that was? You set the scene, explained your role, described what you did, and showed measurable results. That's what recruiters love: proof that you can handle challenges and deliver results. Finally, let's talk about motivation. What motivates you? This is your chance to show alignment between your values and the company's mission. But don't just give a vague answer like, I'm motivated by success or I love challenges. Instead, relate your motivation directly to the role you're applying for and back it up with a specific example. For instance, I'm motivated by solving problems that have a direct impact on customer experience. In my last role, I worked on streamlining our customer support process. And when I saw our response time drop by 50% and customer satisfaction scores go up, that was incredibly fulfilling. Knowing that I made someone's day easier or helped them solve a problem, That's what drives me. And I know that customer experience is a top priority for your team, which is why I'm so excited about this opportunity. See how that answer connects your personal motivation to the company's goals? That's the sweet spot. Recruiters want to know that you're not just looking for a paycheck, you're genuinely excited about the work you'll be doing. Now, before we wrap up, here are two quick bonus tips that can set you apart. First, ask engaging questions at the end of the interview. Don't just ask about salary or vacation days. Ask about team dynamics, current challenges the company is facing, or what success looks like in this role. It shows you're thinking beyond the interview and already envisioning yourself in the position. And second, send a thank you note within 24 hours, but make it personal. Reference something specific you discussed in the interview, maybe a project they mentioned or a challenge you talked about solving together. This reinforces your interest and keeps you top of mind. All right, let's quickly recap. Today, we covered the 5 interview answers recruiters actually love. 1. Tell me about yourself. Here, use the past, present, future framework to tell a clear, relevant story. 2. Why do you want to work here? Do your research and mention something specific about the company. 3. What is your greatest weakness? Be honest here. Show self-awareness and focus on growth. And fourth, behavioral questions. Use the STAR method to structure clear, results-driven answer. And 5, what motivates you? Connect your motivation directly to the role and back it up with examples. Master these 5 answers and you stand out as authentic, prepared, and exactly the kind of person recruiters want on their team. If this video helped you feel more confident about your next interview, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to Faith Links English for more practical career and communication tips. Hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. And here's my challenge for you. Pick one of these 5 questions and practice your answer out loud right now. Then, come back and leave a comment telling me which question you practiced and how it felt. I read every comment and I'd love to hear how you're preparing. Also, if you want more interview content like how to answer tricky questions, how to negotiate salary, or how to follow up after an interview, let me know in the comments and I'll create more videos for you on that. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you in the next video. Until then, keep practicing, keep improving, and keep being amazing. Take care.